Welcome back. I'm Miranda Kahn. Let's turn now to your headlines around the globe. The United Nations sends food and other supplies to war-torn Yemen. Workers handed out the resources to families holed up in a school in the northern part of the country. Saudi Arabia has been conducting airstrikes in Yemen now over the past 2 months. The Malaysian Navy searches for migrants lost at sea in the first official rescue operation. Indonesia's Navy is also joining in on that search. Yesterday, the two countries announced that they would allow migrants to stay temporarily. Officials say thousands of Muslims and Bangladeshis are stuck on boats at sea with no water or food. In Ireland, supporters of legalizing same-sex marriage do some last-minute campaigning before a vote. Right now, civil unions are legally recognized in Ireland, but a new measure up for a vote would add an amendment to that country's constitution allowing for gay marriage. Recent opinion polls show most Irish people support legalizing same-sex marriage. Thousands march in Uruguay's capital demanding to know the truth about nearly 200 people who disappeared from the country when it was a military dictatorship. They held signs and pictures of the people who vanished. The March of Silence. And that is just so amazing. Have you been to Uruguay?
I've never been to Uruguay, Montevideo, the capital there.
Yeah.
Actually, never been
That's
south.
exactly where I was, Montevideo.
But it's on my bucket list of places to go, Uruguay and Paraguay, actually.
Yeah, it's really cool.
We also want to check back in. Of course, as you knew, last night was David Letterman's final episode of The Late Show on CBS. It was an episode of skits, jokes, presidential appearances, a little mashup of the episode you won't want to miss there. Letterman's frenzied fan base, however, showed their devotion, packing the streets of New York in anticipation of the final show.
Right.
Co-host of the Daily Wrap, Rick Unger, made his way down to the Ed Sullivan Theater for a quick take on fan reactions to the last Late Show ever. Let's take a look.
It's a beautiful and windy day here in New York City, and as you can see, the crowd is gathering for the final David Letterman show taping forever. No more Dave. We're going to talk to a few people out here, see what they have to say about David hanging it up, and maybe get a little bit of their point of view on what we can expect from Stephen Colbert when he takes over the show in the fall. So tell me your names.
Pam?
Pam?
Pam and Ron.
And where are you from, Pam and Ron?
Vancouver, Canada.
You are going to be a part of television history.
I know.
Are you David Letterman fans?
You bet.
You watch
Oh, yeah.
every night?
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
So what do you think about him hanging it up?
Well,
Well,
it's sad, but, you know, out with the old, in with the new, I guess.
And we're talking with Colleen Friedland
yes,
from
Freeland.
New York City.
That's right.
And are you here for the big final Dave show?
Well, we came in to see if we could see some of the guests going in and out.
Who'd you see?
We saw Jim Carrey, Tina Fey, and I think Julie Louise Dreyfus.
We've got Jose Perez here from Bridgeport, Connecticut. Welcome, Jose.
Hi, thanks. Nice to be here.
You're obviously a big Dave fan.
I am. You're not going to believe this,
Try me.
okay? But on YouTube, there's a video called David Letterman Meets Jose.
Really?
Yes,
And
sir.
that's you?
Yes, it is. And over a few years, I've had kind of a over-the-air relationship with him. I've never met him face to face. I've come close. He probably can't stand me, but I love him.
He's going to be gone. We all feel terrible about
We
that.
do.
But we do have Stephen Colbert coming. How do you feel about Colbert as the next host?
He's got big shoes to fill.
What do you think of Stephen Colbert, who will be taking over the show in the fall?
I think that he'll do an excellent job. I am convinced of it.
And if Stephen Colbert doesn't work out, what do you think of Joe Concha as possibly the next host of the show?
Not so sure.
All right, so let me ask you this. If it shouldn't work out for Stephen Colbert,
Okay.
what do you think of Joe Concha to take over the show after Stephen?
I think I might be a better choice.
I think Rick actually paid her to say that.
You
know,
think?
Rick shares the desk with Joe Concha. Maybe he's
Yeah,
trying to
it's
get
a
him
little
out.
bit, little bit. How much money do you think he paid? I feel bad for that Jose guy.
Why?
I think because he's like, well, he probably doesn't like me.
Maybe he's, you know, David Letterman had that issue with the stalker. Maybe he's cyber stalking David Letterman based on what his
That's
his
true.
answer
You
was.
never know the behind the scenes story of that, the background and people. But That's just so weird. 33 years.
Yeah, and now tonight there's going to be reruns of CBS dramas in a place where David Letterman was for so long, and it'll be, I think, September when Stephen Colbert finally gets on the air with his show. A lot of anticipation, very high expectations, not just for filling David Letterman's shoes for Stephen Colbert, but taking his old show, The Colbert Report from Comedy Central, which was hugely successful, and bringing that to a new kind of format. Stephen Colbert.
He's abandoning his character.
Yeah, he's going to be Stephen Colbert. Right, I think that's how it's actually pronounced.
Is that how he's going to say it now?
Well, you know, his sister ran for Senate in the South Carolina, and she was something Colbert Bush, I believe. But we'll see. We'll find out come September.
I didn't know that.
All right, we got much more coming up here today on Newsmax TV. Please do stick around. We're going to take a brief break and bring you a documentary for about an hour before Miranda and I come back with your latest headlines. Followed by that, you'll find Midpoint here on Newsmax TV at 4 p.m. and the Steve Malzberg Show at 5 p.m. Primetime lineup with J.D. Hayworth and Ed Berliner follows that as well. Please do stick around. More to come here on Newsmax TV. You can always get the latest on Newsmax.com.